Good morning. My name is Al Schmidt, and I should look in the camera when I say this. And the purpose of this video is to tell you about Al's excellent adventure at True North. I'm going True North in about 5 days. This is the end of March, and I'm going on the 5th of April. I have signed up for 30 days. I hold four fingers up. I don't quite know what that means. And the basis is that Dr. Goldhammer says since there's a 6 months wait to get on board, it's a lot easier to shorten your stay than it is to lengthen it. So I said, all right, we'll sign up for 30 days. And they're not, as soon as I go home, they're not going to charge me. So these guys do a really nice job. You may or may not know that 6 years ago I had end-stage coronary artery disease, and I did not have long to live. My life expectancy was in months, not years. I was a cardiac cripple according to Dr. Esselstyn. I couldn't walk, I couldn't go up or down stairs. I had horrible chest pains. I was absolutely miserable. And I went to Kaiser, and they had a cardiac rehab, which I could barely walk into. And the first half was exercise, and I couldn't do any exercise. And they said, well, we also have a whole food plant-based diet. And I thought, oh, good. And this fat lady waltzes out, and I thought, bury me now. But she said, I'm not on the diet. But she showed a picture of an angiogram that was 32 months between the beginning and the end, and the occlusion totally went away. Extra arteries and veins had grown, corollary they're called, and it gave me hope. And they gave me 3 books to read. All this is documented elsewhere on my website, but I'll say it again for those newbies here. And 3 books to read were Dr. Esselstyn's How to Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. The prevent ship had already sailed, but the reverse had not, and it did indeed reverse my heart disease. Dr. Greger, another one that was instrumental in my recovery, wrote a book, How Not to Die. I thought that was clever. I was on board with that. And the very first page in his book, in the preface, he said the reason he got into medicine, because his 65-year-old grandmother, I was 80 at the time, 65-year-old grandmother got herself home from the hospital in a wheelchair. She managed to get herself to California to Nathan Pritikin's Institute, and in 3 weeks she was walking 10 miles. Well, that gave me some hope. So, and the last book was by Dr. T. Colin Campbell's The China Study, which is just based on facts, based upon his research. Zhou Enlai, the leader of China, was dying of cancer, and he convinced the United States to let T. Colin Campbell come over and run a study, and he had 6,000 assistants helping him, and they found out and cataloged all of the eating habits and what people ate in the whole country of China. And guess what? They found out that the people that ate primarily whole food, plant-based food with 10% or less of their calories were fat, and also 10% or less of their calories were animal protein. Those people did not have all of the problems that we have in our Western society, like end-stage coronary artery disease. And I also had kidney disease. Anyway, I've already told this before, but again, My cholesterol went basically from 250 down to 150. It has since gone down to 119. I've lost 40 pounds, managed to keep it off for almost 6 years, and a bunch of other, more energy, increase in mental acuity, just a general improvement. And I can safely tell you that not only did I not pass away within months, but here I am making these videos. But the last 5 years of my life have been the best 5 years in the last 20. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I have energy, initiative, things to want to do things. So the question is, why am I going to True North then and these fantastic results? Well, I'll tell you, that's the purpose of this video, is that even though I had all these great results, my blood pressure never really got down to where I or they were happy. It never bothered me. Blood pressure, I guess, doesn't. But it was variable, up and down and up and down. It got us in the teens, and the lower number is always good. The lower number goes from 65 to 75, sometimes gets up to 80, but basically it stays low. The front number goes from 160 to 170, then down to 140, and then back up to 150, and then 138, and this recently. Now, they're not, of course, when I go in to get it tested, we have what's called white coat syndrome, and of course it goes up, and I didn't tell any, well, some people know that about 6 months ago, I totaled a car. I have sleep apnea, and I think I fell asleep, but of course, when you're 85 years old, I'm 86 now, when you're 85 years old and you have a car accident and you tell them you fell asleep, they immediately hear he passed out. Because with my history, coronary history, they just assumed I passed out. So they gave me a battery of tests. Couldn't find anything wrong. But since my blood pressure is up here, and aha, he's got something, we'll attack that. So I'm on 3 different drugs, which does not make me happy. So one of the things that I'm trying to get my blood pressure down is to go to True North. I had already been to McDougall's 10-day live-in program back in 2017 before COVID, and you could actually go and live there, and it was a wonderful program. I loved it, but they were a little concerned about my blood pressure, and I had talked to Dr. Lim about it, and he said, well, the thing you're going to have to do next is to go to True North. So I discovered True North when I was in Santa Rosa with Dr. Lim. So after September, when I went through all of this with they put me in the hospital even though I didn't want to go because I didn't have any symptoms. They gave me all the blood pressure medication, and they gave me, I've been on a Holter monitor 3 times for 30 days, and it shows some minor skipping. I have PVCs, and it shows some minor heart irregularities, but nothing anybody's concerned about. I'm not, I never even notice it. So I've signed up for, I quit saying so, Al, all right. I've signed up for True North. And Dr. Goldhammer himself said, well, we're going to get you off. He said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to lower my blood pressure. He says, well, how do you want to do it? And I said, you're going to tell me. I don't know how to lower it. Obviously, I've had it for 5 years, and I can't get it down. He said, all right, we're going to put you, based upon your medical history, which I had sent them, we're going to put you on a juice fast. I have no idea what that means other than they're going to give me juice and probably nothing else. So people have been asking me, what are they going to do? I have no idea. How long are you going to be there? I have no idea. I've signed up for 30 days. And several people said, Al, would you email us and tell us what's going on? And I said, no, I don't really like the email. I don't like doing this either, but I think it's easier. Although I'm not sure. This is the second take I've done on this. I tried it first on my iPhone and it took fine, but it's on my iPhone and I don't know how to get it off of my iPhone. This is an old Android that I used to have. I'm now using as the camera. Nobody has cameras anymore. Everybody uses their phones. So I know how to get it off of this and I know how to post it on my YouTube channel, which is what I'm going to do. So this is the beginning one. This is, I'm telling you why why I'm going, excuse me. I'm telling you I'm going because of blood pressure. There's a secondary reason, and that is I have nocturna, which is getting up in the middle of the night and peeing. And I've had that most of my life, but I notice the more drugs they give me, the more often I get up. Now, I don't know if there's a connection or not, but you know what? Dr. Goldhammer said we're going to get you off all those drugs, and then we'll see, won't we? So that's basically what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. I'll try to make the video short because I don't like doing this that much. I'm sure by the end of it, if I do very many, that I'll get better at it. Of course, I have to. I can't get much worse. What else do I have to tell you? I think that's about it. Oh, while I'm telling, I wanted to give you just some of the more benefits of whole food, plant-based lifestyle. My lovely and charming wife, Dottie, finally got on it. She was not as enthusiastic about she hated it. She wasn't enthusiastic about it as I am. So, but in 2000, and I didn't go on it until 2016. In 2015, she had a stroke and then she had cancer. They discovered cancer on her liver. They took out 2/3 of her liver and that was fine. It all went away. She didn't require anything at radiation or anything chemical. And then 2 years later it came back. Well, and that was in 2018. I guess that was 3 years later. I had already been on the diet for 2 years. So to say that I encouraged her would not be quite the truth. But she finally said, well, he's browbeating me and cancer's attacking me. Maybe I should go on the diet. So she did. And she went on whole food, plant-based. She was totally into it, which, of course, I was supporting her on it because I was supporting me on it. And let's see, did I tell that right? 2015, 2018, when the reason that she went on it is they discovered it had metastasized and gone to her lungs, which means she had stage 4 cancer and it was metastasized. They caught it like they caught the first one early. It was a small tumor in the liver, but still they took out 2/3 of it. Then it was a small tumor in the lungs. They wanted to take part of her lungs out. She said no, and I don't blame her. So she admitted, let them have radiation. They did the radiation. She went on the diet, and every year we've gone back since then, and the tumor has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. And she does it every 6 months. She goes in for a full body scan, and she found out that it's pretty much gone away, and they don't see it anywhere. They give her a full body, so they haven't found it anywhere else. So we're very happy to report that. So whole food, plant-based lifestyle has been very good to us. So I'm hoping that Dr. Goldhammer and his methodology will also be good to me. So if I will periodically send these out, I don't know when, I don't have a plan, I don't know what I'm going to do. People say, well, how do you feel about going? And I don't know. On the one hand, it's anticipation, that's sort of exciting. On the other hand, I think, oh, what if it doesn't work? Or, it's just, you don't know. It's the great unknown. Fortunately, I tend to kind of like to do stuff like this. Not like this, but I tend to be a bit adventuresome even at 86. So we'll see where it goes. So if you tuned in, thank you very much, and stay tuned to this channel. Keep those cards and letters coming, and that's about it for now. Thank you very much.